Tihei mauri ora. Ki te taho o tōku pāpā, ko te ramaro o te maunga, ko hoki anga te moana, ko ngā tuki mata whaurua te waka, ko ngā tihau te hapū, ko ngā puhi tōku iwi. Ki te taho o tōku māma, ko maungarangi te maunga, taumārere te awa, māmari te waka, ngā tihine te hapū. Ko praone kauti tōku whānau, nō reira neiranga mihi atu. Kia koutou katoa, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Kia ora. Kia ora, my name is Michael Moka. To my people, I am third generation urban migration. So for Māori people who do not know this face, since I do not go home that much, they won't know who I am. So I tell them about my mountains, my rivers, my canoe, my sub-tribes and my tribes from my mother and father's side. Just so they know who I am. They probably know me more than I know me, just based on my introduction there. And that's a huge importance when talking about our identity. And we'll see how that works just a little bit later in this presentation. But for me, it's all about whānau. Literally means to be born or family. And we're going to be using this word, just a word of warning. We were speaking Māori before the settlers come in. So there's not one English word for one Māori word. So we're going to be saying one Māori word for heaps of English words throughout here, and it's going to be whānau. In 2013, I started a dream, a business called Indigenous Growth Limited. And it was there to solve two issues. It was all about people. Our first issue, our first problem, was actually the people who are seen as achieving continued success. You know, the top 30% in our country, or the top 50%. These people that are a little bit more educated, that come to TEDx because they're hoping to go from 90% of their capacity to 91. Or 92, or if I do a really good job, hopefully 99, knowing that you're humble enough to know that you're never going to be at full capacity. I just want to say, to build our nation, I'm sorry, you're not the solution. You've got too much work on your shoulders. You're too busy. We need to take a lot of that work off your shoulders, and you need to be able to delegate it to more of our people. So what we do is we bring our whānau and we combine it with companies, organisations, businesses who have the opportunity to solve our other problem. My other problem, the vision of Indigenous growth is to conquer the poverty cycle for families like mine. I'll introduce you to my uncle. So this is my uncle. He worked 10 plus years for a courier company, and he thought, yes, full-time. Didn't realize that he was full-time casual. On Friday, he got given 1 day's notice that he had no job on Monday. He's part of this bottom 50%, this true potential in our nation. Why? Because he was a leader. Not because of his job title, his last name, or even his income amount. Because of this. When I say I bring my whānau, my family to everything, literally I do. This is my family, 100 plus of us. There's about 6 households out where we stay. And there's my uncle. Very, very difficult to get him to come into a photo. Yet when he lost that job, it affected all of us. Why? Because he was our leader. You know if a person is a leader when it comes to time of crisis, and our times of crisis is during a funeral. Who do we all go to when it's time for a funeral? We go to my uncle. He's our leader. When families fight, because we know we all fight, he becomes the mediator. He's the head of the kitchen, which is the biggest role in our family. He's the driver. He just gets things done. No talk. He's at all the meetings, doesn't want to say anything, just get things done. this is the potential. I'm not saying that he was ready to be given a management role or a leadership role or anything like that. I'm just saying, imagine if you have people in your companies with this type of potential, if you could use that potential and inevitably take more off your shoulders, give them more responsibility, and as a result, everybody's happier. This is the purpose of Indigenous growth. There's some people out there that are happy where they are, but there's also people at this low socioeconomic demographic that want to get out. And we can do something about it, and it'll help us and them and their whānau. So how do we do it? Here's our trusty Venn diagram. We bring our whānau in. We show how they can be who they are in the companies, and we combine everything with culture. And as you know, where those three circles meet is that sweet spot where we, Indigenous growth, want to be. And it's about working on the person. So my uncle's not ready. Neither is most of my family. Neither are most of the people on the frontline workforce. But instead of trying to chuck everything at them, how about we develop them and who they are? Mason Jury came up with the model whare tapawha. My elder kaumātua pāhina rete calls this tapu I, your internal tapu, your internal sacredness, well-being. And it was simple. To have total well-being, you must have a balance amongst all 4 areas. And we know most of these areas. Our wairua, our spiritual well-being. Even for those who don't believe in a higher power, it's very important that you believe that you're here for a higher purpose. This is going off in New Zealand at the moment, the health and well-being. Tinana, the physical well-being, the diet. Just saying that because that's what I need. The diet, the exercise, the hygiene, all these that give you that physical well-being. Your hinengaro, that emotional well-being. There's a whole industry now for psychologists and all of those other people that work on the mind stuff. Because it's important. And the part that we work on, which we bring all 3 of these in, is the 4th one, is our whānau. Our cultural well-being. That cultural well-being of knowing who you are and where you come from, your identity, can enhance you like nothing else can. That's what we need to connect people in. That's why we chose Indigenous, not Māori, not Pacific, because that's where the worrying statistics are. Māori and Pacific here in New Zealand, Aboriginals in Australia, First Nations, Canada, America, the African Americans, we know the statistics. Those are the statistics that we want to challenge. We need to connect them to their cultural well-being, to you, to your cultural well-being. So how do we do it? Well, Indigenous growth, it's simple. Here we go. We go into your companies. We identify our people at the frontline workforce. You know those ones with potential, you see with potential, it just cannot breach that ceiling. Well, we work with those ones. We reconnect them with Indigenous values. We identify their momo, their strengths, their characteristics, their traits that come from their very inheritance. Your parents, their parents, their parents, their parents, they have DNA traits, characteristics which make you that unique person that you are. And we bring these out and we show them how they can implement and combine these in their personal and professional lives. Why? Hey, not only for their whānau, but this is how we're going to enhance companies' bottom line. The people at the front. Why? Because when you are connected and you have these values and you know how to be who you are outside of work, inside of work as well, it will give you the mana, the power, the authority, the respect, the permission to play your roles, to achieve your goals. Once we work with our people, then, whiua ki te ao, then we just chuck them back straight at you because they're ready. Whatever they want to achieve, they'll go and do it. Why? The old saying, right? You give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, feed him for a lifetime. Well, I still think that's rubbish now because you can learn how to fish on YouTube. Learn how to fish on YouTube, yet there's still a gap between the rich and the poor, or the successful and the not successful. And the gap is up here. Their total well-being. We need to know how to connect people to their purposes. We need to know how to connect people to who they are and bring it into their everyday life. What is the point of judging an elephant on its ability to climb a tree? If you continue to judge an elephant on its ability to climb a tree, it will go through its whole life thinking that it's stupid. Yes, with our successful people, they can learn. And we can get them from 90 to 91 or 91 to 99. Yet that's not where the greatest amount of potential is. It's working with our people that are only producing at 10% and trying to get them to 20, to 30, to 40. Here's a statistic for you. That's over 200% productivity. So my challenge is for all those people out there, if you're a manager, if you're a CEO, if you are a person who looks after other people, how many elephants do you have trying to climb a tree? 5 elephants, 10 elephants, 100 elephants. Are you an elephant trying to climb a tree? What's the point of climbing the tree when you have the strength, that inherent strength inside of you to knock that tree down? Imagine if we could get them to knock that tree down. And that's what conquering the poverty cycle is going to do. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā kārangaranga maha. Rauranga tira mā, tēnā koutou, kia ora mai tātou katoa.